Welcome to Interesting Talks with Footprints Counselling Service. Today we're going to be talking about asking for help. Asking for help. Now we all need a bit of help sometimes, but it can be difficult to know how to ask and who to ask. So as normal, like, share, leave comments on YouTube or Facebook. And on YouTube, hit that button to subscribe and you'll be notified as and when my videos come out. At the end of this video, I'll give you some tips in ways that you can ask for help in an effective manner and get help. Now, sometimes things seem to overwhelm us. We feel that we can't cope, and that applies to everybody who's alive. We've all been there. Even children in primary school, and certainly in secondary school, and in university certainly go through a lot of stress as they're changing and growing and leaving one level, going to the next. So nobody can walk in your shoes for you. That's a given. But one thing's for sure, if you walk aside of others, they can help lighten your load. They can help lighten your load. A problem shared is a problem halved. It may not be a problem solved, but at least you've shared it with somebody. And I'm going to talk to men here directly. A lot of men think it's some kind of taboo to ask for help. And then they get overwhelmed with situations, and then they start acting out in really some strange ways. So bear that in mind, especially for men. We don't talk a lot with each other, and it's like a pressure cooker just building up. It can explode. So for myself, over the last few days, I've been off the road. My car's been in the garage. I use my car a lot. Some people say it's like my legs. I don't do much travelling on public transport. But I went out over the weekend and I got to a place and I saw one of my friends there. And we started talking and I said to him, yeah, I came here by public transport. I came here on a bus. My car's in the garage. So he said to me, Yinka, why didn't you tell me? I would have come and pick you up. And I sort of fumbled around with not really coming out with a constructive answer. And he said, if you don't tell people you need help, they don't know you need help. And if you don't ask, you won't receive. I thought that was, quite straightforward, quite practical, and an effective point to make. Furthermore, a few days later, I was speaking to a friend, and she had some issues going on with people assassinating her character basically on Facebook. And the worst thing about it was a group. And groups are extremely powerful, depending on how they use their power for the positive way or in a negative way. It can have an effect on people that are feeling the force of that power. Anyway, so I spoke to her about it and she told me what was going on, and I gave her some practical advice that I saw as just practical advice. And when I was saying it to her, she was saying back to me that it was things that she hadn't thought about, she hadn't seen. It's a bit like the trees in the forest scenario. You can't see the tree for the forest. But anyway, so I spoke to her a few days later and she was in a far much better place and more or less back to her normal bubbly personality. And that was because she asked for help by talking to me about it, and I was able to help her because I'm not in the situation, so I've got a fresh pair of eyes. So reaching out for help is really strong. It is not a weak thing. Reaching out for help is a strong thing. It is not a weak thing. I know there's lots and lots of reasons why we don't ask for help. Society sort of kind of teaches you that, but it's not society that lives your life. Some of the reasons we don't ask for help is like we're feeling weak. We don't want to ask and look weak. Being let down, which we were let down before the last time we asked somebody for help us. Feeling embarrassed. Feeling that the person that helped us, we owe them. Or the person that helped us, them feeling that we owe them. Vice versa. Also, if you look back in our childhood, majority of parents used to say things like, you got 2 arms, 2 legs, do it yourself. Don't need me to help you, or you don't need anybody to help you. So that plays in the back of your mind subconsciously is like a life script that I don't need to ask for anybody's help, or I shouldn't ask for anybody's help. It makes me look weak. Just something to think about. You've got one life, and if you're in a position where you're not happy, sitting in the same place, you're not happy, what's the point? When you could ask for help. Help from friends, help from family, help from your partner, or professional help. So here I'm going to list some of the tips, some of the ideas that I believe are useful when you're in a situation where you need help and you're not quite sure how to go about it. So the first thing is if you can make a list of what you need. For example, if you've recently had an operation in the hospital and you're recovering from that operation, you could make a list of things that you need done, like going to the grocery, somebody to pick up the kids, taking the dog for a walk, taking the kids to the dentist. And obviously after an operation, there's a relatively chance that you'll feel, if you're unable to move around much, that you're feeling depressed. So look for help on that, for example. Rate the importance of each need from 1 to 10, 1 being not that important or not as severe, and 10 being seriously important. Write down a list of the people who could help you, from your partner all the way to your neighbour or to a work colleague or to a professional. Recognise that it's healthy and smart to ask for help. Important to remember that if it is your need, ask somebody. It's not weak to ask somebody to help you. When asking people, think and pick the right time. If they're extremely busy or preoccupied, there's not much chance of you getting a positive response. So think about when you ask this person to help you. Now speak up. In most cases, if you don't ask, as I've said previously, you don't get. Ask in a positive way. Try not to whine or complain before you ask for help. That's something we do. I think it's probably a part of our self-defense mechanisms, that first of all we bellyache about a situation and then we ask for help about the said situation, which by the time the person's heard you bellyaching, they kind of always might be switching off anyway. Do not put yourself down. Nobody wants to hear you put yourself down. Try to talk in a positive way, not in a negative way about yourself when you're asking for help from somebody. And that also applies in general life. Don't put yourself down. Don't talk in a negative way. As I've said in previous videos, other people will gladly do it for you. Last but not least, help others. People who see people that help people feel that they can also help them because they're helpers. So when you receive help or before you receive help, try to make an effort to help other people. Life is a journey. We all go through different stages of feeling fantastic to feeling not so good. And why get stuck when there's help out there? When you've got friends, family, partners, work colleagues, even neighbours. And of course, you could come to people like me. And there's some people like me that charge very, very little, and you could get your situation analysed and fixed for yourself. So just to run through my key points, as in the tips to help you, make a list. Rate the importance of each need. List the people that best placed to help you, i.e. if you need help with a boiler, you need somebody who's a plumber, not somebody who's an electrician, an example. It's healthy and smart to ask for help. When asking for help, choose the time. If you see somebody's very busy, preoccupied in some other situation, it's not the right time to ask. Speak up, vocalize your concerns. Ask in a positive manner. Don't put yourself down. And helping others means others are quite willingly to help you too. So as normal, like, share, leave comments on YouTube or on Facebook. Anybody that you think that this video could be useful to, and I'm sure there's quite a few people out there that would be, please share it with them. Until next time, do take good care of yourself. You're an important person in this planet, and do your best to stay positive. Take care for now.